Hey, what is good, fam? JC here. So, I just wanted to provide some commentary on my recent Tijuana trip. I know I promised footage, but I'm not quite there yet. I need to, build up that courage or that in public shyness. But at the very least, I do have resources to share. I've created this Instagram guide where basically with the new tool Instagram has, it allows you to create a guide and include the various spots. And so what I went ahead and did, and I created that guide, and it'll have a lot of the different food spots. It even has a hotel recommendation if you're ever in Resverito Beach, and also a spot in Ensenada that I had mentioned for the fish tacos. So I will include that in the description. I'm also going to include the two Airbnbs at which I stayed at. And I'll go into sharing a little bit about each one. So even though I don't necessarily have the footage from the trip, I still do want to share like some resources and some thoughts about what I saw. And so I hope you enjoy. So real quick, I stayed at two different Airbnbs. One was more of a family Airbnb. I have an extended family. It was 8 of us in total. So we were lucky for something that would, be comfortable for us. So I found this Airbnb, it had 3 bedrooms, had a sofa, and then it had 2 pull-out beds. The one downside of this Airbnb was that it was a little out of the city center. So we would have to drive out to the different parts in the center of the city. It's not too bad of a drive. Tijuana's not like massively huge or anything like that, so it was fine, and it was a great value for what exactly we needed for the trip. It had a kitchen, I had 2 bathrooms, 2 showers and everything. So it was great, especially if you have a bigger family and you're looking for a spot that will accommodate everyone, and it was a good value, to be honest. However, this same person has another Airbnb. So when I leave in the description, obviously you can see that the individual has another Airbnb, and that one is a bit closer to the city center. It actually, it's up a hill, and there's a road. Once you get down the hill, the road basically is one of the main arteries that runs through the city. So that's also a great option. I think it's a little pricier. I don't recall. I had stayed at that previous property as well, and I really enjoyed it. But again, it's still a little out. It's not as out as this one, but it's gonna be there if you want to check it out as well. Now the second one, my wife and I decided to stay a few days longer, and so then we were just really looking for an Airbnb that would help us, or accommodate for our needs. So I was reviewing this Airbnb. The photos looked pretty basic, and it looked pretty essential basically, but I saw the reviews were good, so I was like, okay, we'll do it. So we got the Airbnb, and it was pretty much an essential, but with everything that you would need. I had a bedroom, it had even like a living room situation, and then it had like a kitchen. The kitchen wasn't complete because it doesn't have a stovetop, but we were never really planning on cooking much. We were always gonna go out and visit the different spots that we were going to be visiting, so it worked out. But it's a great spot if you're gonna be there for like a few days, maybe less. And it's also budget friendly. I think it averaged out to about $50 a night, which is really great. Even for budget hotels in Tijuana, like a decent one at least, you're looking at $80 to $100 a night probably. So it's a great option. And also in the living room, it has a pull-out bed. So if you want to go with like a friend or so, and you don't want to, you can have your own separate beds and all that good stuff. So it's really great. And with this one of the upsides was that it was close to the city center. So we were walking distance to some eateries, we were walking distance to some shops and all that good stuff, and then easily could get around with Uber or walking. We had the car, so we went out, to different places that we were intended to visit. So it was really great. We didn't have to spend too much additional time, getting back and forth and all that good stuff. So overall, how I saw this trip, as I had mentioned, there had been this positive economic activity that you could just kind of feel in the city. And when I was going to a lot of these different restaurants, I was speaking to a lot of the different owners, and you can see, there's a lot of people who are into entrepreneurship. They might have a location, and they're opening up additional locations at these collectives for other, smaller vendors, whether it be like food, beverages, other specialty items. So we visited one spot, and the gentleman was telling me how, hey, we're gonna open up our new location at this collective, make sure to check us out. So you can really feel that. It was really great to see it. I was talking to him too about how, they bring a lot of the ideas back from California, and they'll go ahead and experiment with them there in Tijuana. I know I'm late to this, but I tried Tonic and Espresso, which is just basically a drink with espresso shots, tonic, and the traditional one would usually add like orange juice or lime juice or something like that, right? And there's also a variation where they add like different types of syrups, and they may not add the orange juice, but both options were great. It's an amazing drink, refreshing. It's definitely something new to me. Like I drink all types of different coffees and all that good stuff, but it was something I had never really like contemplated. I had heard about kind of like bubbly coffee and all that good stuff, but I had never really actually done something or had the opportunity, and it was amazing. Really try it. A lot of Tijuanenses, as they call themselves, we usually drink it later on in the day because it's refreshing. They like to stay cool. But a lot of folks will also, consume it in the morning. It's a great drink. It's refreshing. And so overall, though, the trip was great. The city, I thought, was actually could be more busy than I anticipated. It actually was really calm. It looks like folks actually stayed on this side for 4th of July. And it's always like a hit or miss with TJ. Like, and also even like Resverito, you'll go sometimes and it'll be really busy, and then sometimes it'll be just really calm and you really get to enjoy it. Then also with some of the recommendations that I've added there's the Resverito Beach Hotel, which is a great option. They have a great buffet on Sundays. It ran us this time $14.50 per person, but it is complete. It has variety and all that good stuff. So it's definitely worthwhile to check out if you want to go with your family and have a nice brunch on a Sunday, and then maybe just walk the boardwalk or whatever. The beach is great to hang out, enjoy some coconuts and all that good stuff. What else? In addition, we went to the movie theaters. I hadn't done that for a very, very long time. Before we basically had shut down. Like this was my first time that I was able to visit a theater. It was really great. I saw 2 movies. I saw F9 obviously, and Cruella, and they were both great movies. I enjoyed them. I don't care. I like movies just in general, even though they're really bad. So it was great. It was got to go to a lot of the places I like to enjoy for food. Got to go to the shops and all that good stuff. So I think that the Instagram guide is really going to be useful if you ever do decide to go, or if you've already been and you haven't been to those particular spots. You can scroll down to the guide and then visit those. They'll have the address there and all that good stuff. We went to this one restaurant, Georgina. I had always seen it because we go to another restaurant that's next to it, Café La Flor. And so I was like, hey, I was telling my wife, we'll check it out next time. And we ended up checking it out this time. And I had the salmon ahumado, which was delicious. It was fresh. It was incredible. It's a little pricier in the sense of like Tijuana prices, but still not too bad. So I definitely would recommend to check out that spot if you're there. It's in the guide, so you can easily access it. It also includes some photos of like different dishes, so you kind of get a sense of, you know, what you'll expect when you go there. So overall, great trip. I enjoyed myself. My wife enjoyed herself, you know, and every time I go back, I feel like we've just scratched the surface. Like, I know it's not, you know, like the destination, right? Like, but if you're just looking to explore and you just want to go and, like, you know, enjoy some good food and you're close by, you know, definitely worth it. Right now is a good time. The one day that was busy was on Thursday because Tijuanenses are starting to receive their second doses. And so what's happening is they're now going to allow, how I had mentioned about this cross-border activity, they're going to now allow folks who have, you know, are fully vaccinated to start crossing over, you know, so they can go, you know, to San Diego and all that good stuff. Obviously, you could fly out of Mexico, but it's kind of unreasonable, at least for a Tijuanense, to fly out from TJ to San Diego or LA, you know. So they were really stuck in like, hey, like, we have no other option, realistically at least, right? So now that they're going to be fully vaccinated, that will then grant them entry, and they can start to, you know, move freely. So I do anticipate that that might create a little bit more traffic at the border. To be sincere, it took me, wow, I think like 15 minutes to cross over from the point that I entered, because it was moving rather quickly and there was little traffic. From previous experiences, you know, crossing over can take, and this is using the ready lane. So there's the general traffic, there's the ready lane, and then there's the Sentry lane. The Sentry lane obviously is like for the Sentry pass holders. So usually for the ready lane, it's a bit quicker than general lane, but it can really still take like an hour and a half to 2 hours. And this was before, but again, before it was mixed traffic. So it's like some folks who, you know, are from Tijuana, live in Tijuana, they're going to SD or whatever, and then those folks who had or are visiting Tijuana and crossing over. So I think that was mainly one of the reasons why I was able to get by a little quicker. But maybe now that they will be able to come in, it will increase traffic a little bit of the wait times. We'll see. I'm not sure when I'll be going back, but I'll definitely, you know, report back when that does happen. But overall, like, awesome. I hope that the resources help, especially if you kind of want to, like, you know, maneuver yourself a little quicker through the city and you don't want to like overthink about like, hey, where should I be going? If you do have any questions, commentary, or anything, leave them in the comment section. I will get to them. I'll be as fast as I can, you know, especially with recommendations. I have other Airbnb recommendations. The reason I'm including these two is because, you know, I can speak a little bit more to them because I just used them or stayed at them. The other ones, though, I do know the owner of another one that I do recommend, and he's really, you know, great about, you know, communication, keeping his Airbnb up to par. So I definitely would recommend that one as well. So just let me know in the comment section. Let me know if you want to, you know, you have any particular doubt. I will be more than happy to answer them. And again, that Instagram guide is definitely going to be useful if you do decide to go. So thank you so much for tuning in. I really hope that, you know, you're encouraged to one of these days maybe visit Tijuana, or if you haven't now, you know, you have some other spots. If you have some other spots to visit. Maybe you've been going to a lot of the same places, and now you're like, hey, okay, I know that there's so much more that I can go visit and enjoy in terms of coffee, food, drinks, all that good stuff. So thank you for tuning in with JC here, and I'm out.